Technological transfer on the Silk Road. The spread of ideas is one of the main topics being discussed in the Silk Road. That includes technology. Technology is important in the development of the human race. For example, the printing press allowed literature to spread around a country, making the piece of literature immune to extinction. The internet is another invention that allowed the human race to be more connected than ever. Okay, let's start with the basics. How can technology spread on the Silk Road? There can be many factors. We will talk about the political relationships between countries that basically facilitated the route of the technology transfer. Here we will talk about how these relationships guided the technology across the Silk Road. Let's discover what happened in Eastern Asia. The Tang dynasty didn't really have a good relationship with the Western countries due to their goal of gaining Western territory. Examples would include the Tang campaign on the Eastern and Western Turks, and the Tang campaign on the Oasis states. These all concluded in the annexation of the stated nations and thus the full control of the Tang dynasty. This then allowed exchange from two different cultures to be easily initiated, and this allowed the spread of gunpowder to occur, in which we will discuss later. Another significant event that was occurring in East Asia was the Japanese missions to the Tang dynasty. Japan commissioned a total of 19 missions to the Tang dynasty, with the goal to study the Chinese way of living. This was where a lot of Chinese ideas and technologies were transmitted to Japan. On the western side of Asia, we have the Arabs. They had one successful campaign against the Tang called the Battle of Tullus. There, the Abbasid Muslim Caliphate defeated the Tang dynasty due to the Tang's ally, the Kolak, defecting to the enemy. Obviously, the Arabs did not have good relations with the Chinese. Nonetheless, this did not stop technology from spreading. After this event, the Chinese who were prisoners of war were forced to labor under the Abbasid Caliphate. One of the tasks they were required to perform was create paper, which we would also discuss later. Moving on to the technologies. Gunpowder was accidentally created when the Chinese tried to create an elixir for immortality. Instead, they created a potion of mass destruction. It was composed of carbon, potassium nitrate, and sulfur. The Chinese started using them in wars when they realized the explosions hurt people. At first, they were just using them to scare off the enemy. Gunpowder then spread to the Islamic peoples when the Islamic alchemists found it being sold in markets. Since the Tang dynasty was in control of most of the Silk Road, this made it easy for gunpowder to spread to different countries. The Islamic people then brought gunpowder to the Europeans through the Silk Road. The Europeans then improved the substance and created firearms that had the ability to destroy structures faster than ever before. Paper was created by the Chinese since the 2nd century AD. It has always been considered a luxurious item by foreigners because only the Chinese had the ability to create paper. This changed after the Battle of Tullus. Since the Islamic people won the war, the Chinese prisoners of war were forced to do whatever the Islamic people wanted them to do. This included papermaking. This was the first time paper was introduced to the Islamic world. Soon, papermaking would then spread to the Europeans. A theory that I have come up with while making this project is that technology spreads more quickly when there is a conflict. It can be seen in many wars, such as the Battle of Tullus, World War I, World War II, etc. I believe this is because of the competition that is naturally involved in the events. One country wants to have the advantage over another, so innovation and espionage is encouraged. This then leads to the inevitable spread of technology. Thank you for watching this video. Click the link in the description below to find the bibliography, rubric, and script. If you like this video, leave a like. If you disliked this video, dislike it. And as always, have a nice day.